Magician!
Hey YouTube, Dog Magician 84 here with another top 5 video. And it's on something that I've never done a third part for, and yeah, that's more mistakes, annoying mistakes that is, that opponents make with cards. So yeah, there were 5 others that I didn't think to cover. So yeah, in total that would bring it up to 20. I mean, like I keep saying, we all make mistakes with cards. Like, no one's perfect, but even so, there's just some really infuriating ones that that tend to come up. Now, I did remember 3 specifically, but I didn't want this to be a top 3, because after all, this segment is top 5 or above. So I thought of a couple of others that, to be fair, haven't come up for a while, but still just bugged me. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. So first of all, let's have a bit of light in here. How am I going to do this one? God, this file isn't going to be great quality now. Oh well. So in at number 5, using Time Maiden wrong. Yes, this is one of the few support cards that support Time Lord, so if you need a refresher for what she does, I'll just read off the effect. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a Time Lord monster. You can tribute this card, add a Time Lord monster with no attack points from your deck to your hand. You can banish this card from your GY, special summon 1 Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. You cannot special summon other monsters during the turn you activate this effect. So to be fair, this hasn't happened for a while. It mainly happened in 2017 and 18, but yeah, it was still a mistake that just irritated me, because what Time Lord players were doing was special summoning her through his own way and banishing her from the graveyard to use the second effect in the same turn. But then it turned out that obviously they couldn't do that. So yeah, there seems to have been some confusion where they seem to think her special summoning herself and her special summoning a Time Lord from the deck can activate in the same turn, but locks you out of other special summons. But that's not how it works. And then it came up again in 2018, and there were just these really annoying arguments over this and how she works and how she doesn't. I mean, playing against Time Lords is annoying enough as it is, but oh my god, the arguments over Time Maiden were so annoying. I even wanted this bitch banned at one point, but eventually how it worked was just cleared up. But yeah, it was infuriating. I mean, maybe in 2018 I didn't explain clearly how it worked. But yeah, just to clarify, if you special summon her through her home way, you can't use her special summon effect to special a Time Lord in the same turn. You need to wait one turn to be able to do that. So, yeah. I haven't even encountered Time Lord since then, and quite frankly I don't want to ever again, because it's an annoying, stally burn deck. Number 4, when opponents think effects that target don't. Again, it's not something that happens very often, hasn't for a while, but yeah, it was just so infuriating. I mean, it usually comes up when they use older prints of cards that don't mention target or even say select in some cases. But I can share an example of one scenario where this happened. So, I was playing my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck against a guy playing a generic fairy deck a few years ago. And this is modern Blue Eyes, by the way, and I had Azure Eyes on the field, and its protection effects were active at the time, where it prevents dragons I control from being targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the turn, and and the guy tried to use compulsory evacuation device on one of these guys. And yeah, this was an older print, and he was trying to argue that it doesn't target. Even though, like, I was trying to explain to him that he does, and even tried to show me the card, like, move it up to my face, which, by the way, is something that actually pisses me off. It's like, don't wave the card in my face. I can read. I know how the card works. And this got so frustrating that I had to, like, ask someone if they had a copy of Compulse with the most up-to-date text, and thankfully there was one, and I had to show the card to this guy just to prove to him that A, I'm not lying, and B, Compulse does target. Yeah, like I said before, it really pisses me off when people argue with me over how a card works and how it doesn't, when I'm actually right and the other person is actually wrong. And it's also really insulting as well. They're just basically implying that I don't know how the card works, even though I do. And you know, I've played. What people need to remember is I've been playing since 2003. I may not be a judge, but I'm an experienced veteran duelist. I know how various cards work, especially older ones, and I know what I'm talking about, and it's just insulting when people think the opposite. Anyway, number 3, when opponents set spells that are not quick play for no reason. Now, I've had a couple of people do this, and it's I'm just flabbergasted. It's like, why are you doing this? Now, I can understand, like, if they're running card destruction and morphing jar and they want to set it so they don't have to discard it, or if they're worried the opponent might have it, which isn't very likely unless they're playing against Darkworld or something. But other than that, it's like, why would you set it? I mean, there's been many times where I've ended up wasting my back row removal on it, like MST, Twin Twisters, Dark Magical Circle, and it's like, what the hell? Why did you set it? Like, you don't set your spells unless it's a quick play. Like, literally, unless there's a perfectly valid reason behind doing it, like, trying to avoid having it discarded by your own morphing jar or card destruction or whatever, you don't set them. I mean, it's all very well doing it for a bluff, but it doesn't make sense to set them for no reason. They just lost a spell for no reason that they could have used later on in the duel. One scenario where this just really made me mad was when someone borrowed my Elemental Hero deck for a request duel, and he set Miracle Fusion, only to get it destroyed by MST. Like, or at least I think it was MST. It might have been. It was some form of back removal I played. It's like, what the why would you do that? What are you doing? And then if that wasn't bad enough, like in the duel after that, he discarded a Miracle Fusion to use the effect of Fusion Recycling Plant. Like, again, why would you do this? Miracle Fusion is the best spell in the Elemental Hero deck, and you're just throwing it away and letting it get popped. Why? And since then, I have not been. I've not let that guy even touch my Elemental Hero deck. It just triggered me so much that he was using it wrong. Number 2, shuffling a card into the deck and shuffling it because they accidentally saw the top card or whatever, or accidentally drew. This is something that actually bugs me as well. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have encountered this, but I've had someone go, oh, and then they shuffle and we're like, wait, why are you shuffling your deck? I accidentally saw the top card. Just don't shuffle your deck for no reason. I mean, it's all very well if you're trying not to cheat by knowing what the top card is, but the problem with that is if you're shuffling it back into the deck for no reason, like after you've drawn your 5 cards for turn, you're technically changing and messing up the game state. This is still an illegal shuffle. Alright, yes, you're going to know what the next card is that you draw, but I would much rather the opponent knows what they're going to draw next than have them shuffle their deck for no reason and technically change and mess up the game state. I mean, there's no guarantee it would give them an unfair advantage, but you just never know with these things. And finally, in at number 1, which is something I don't know why I didn't think sooner, it's one involving Absolute Zero, where opponents seem to think it destroys my own monsters as well. I mean, I've had quite a few occasions, mainly from one guy, who gets an absolute zero off the field, and then they question me and say it should destroy yours as well, shouldn't it? And I'm like, no, it only destroys your monsters. It doesn't destroy mine. And this is made even worse by like an argument that ensues saying like it must do. Like, show me a recent printing. You don't need to see a recent printing. Regardless of the printing of absolute zero, every single copy says the same thing. When it leaves the field, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. It clearly says it on the card. Like, if it destroyed mine as well, it wouldn't even be that great. And I wouldn't even be using it as a fusion material for another fusion, like The Shining, for instance, which is a cool combo that I've done many times in the past. But no, it clearly states on the card, regardless of the printing, that it pops the opponent's monsters. And again, this is one of those infuriating experiences where they seem to think I don't know how certain cards work. In this case, they seem to think I don't know how my own cards work, even though I actually do. Again, not only is it annoying, it's just insulting. It's like, why do people not believe me when I give them a ruling? Again, it's another one that hasn't happened for a little while, but it's just really irritating. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and again, let me know if there's any infuriating mistakes the opponent makes that have bothered you. Yeah, thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Dark Magician YouTube channel.